Let's go. All right, man. Good morning. You know, it was something I did, I think, but I think we're good now. Arcade, I appreciate you early in the chat. I see. Thank you for being here, bro. I appreciate you very much. Yes, sir. We should be good, I believe. Just double check. But yeah, like before though, it wasn't even showing you were in. It wasn't even showing that you were in here before, so that's why I knew something was off. I don't know what it was, but I restarted. I don't know if it'll really help, but maybe it will help. We shall see. Now, you know, what I was trying to talk about there in the beginning is very important. It has a lot to do with what's going on with the markets, you know. And so I don't want to miss any of that. But you know, it's time to wake up, right? Wake up, wake up. It's time to wake up because, you know, what's happening is going to end up causing a lot of people to completely miss the actual bottom of the market, you know? It's going to cause people to completely miss the actual bottom of the market. Now, 1 a.m., I think I was up until 1 a.m. as well. But what we're seeing happen, you know, with the FOMC causing all this volatility, we had the FOMC press conference, and really the tone was not that hawkish. You know, I mean, it wasn't really good. He basically mentioned a lot about how uncertain everything is, and that's not good for markets. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. The FUD definitely rains down on the price of Bitcoin and altcoins and Ethereum, the stock market. And, you know, also just last night, and all this is happening right now with the world sleeping on all this that's happening. It's like it's an energy war, right? The Middle East, they're basically in a full-scale energy war right now. Qatar's biggest gas hub has been hit. Saudi refineries have been hit. Oil is screaming over $100, and Bitcoin is plummeting to $69,000 death zone. $500 million in longs have been liquidated, vaporized from the market. And, you know, just within the past 12 hours, 4 hours, look, you can see here, just within the past hour, we've had $8 million in liquidations in just the past hour. But in the past 12 hours, 24 hours, you know, we're pushing, you know, pushing quarter of a billion liquidations almost in Bitcoin there. I mean, it's, you know, it's not looking too hot, right? Now, the breakdown of the energy war, right? Oh my gosh, if my headphones start messing up, I will lose it, bro. But the breakdown of the energy war, I do hope that it doesn't mess up, but maybe it won't. Oh man, it seems like if I move my headphones at all, it's going to mess up. Ooh. You know, there's the catalyst, which is Israel hit Iran's gas hub yesterday, 14% of their gas. And with retaliation coming overnight, Iran struck Qatar's with 20% of the world supply and Saudi's refinery. And the macro result is oil spiking, gas prices. This creates stagflation, high prices, no growth. The Fed cannot cut rates if oil is this high. And that is why Bitcoin is dropping. And it's basically because the Middle East is in a complete energy war. Oh, no, dude. There we go. Maybe I fixed it. Maybe I fixed it. Now, you know, Bitcoin bloodbath, right? We did drop below 70K. And we're fighting for it now. If we lose 69,300 on the 4-hour, we're heading to $65,000 potentially. And with the liquidations hitting $492 million in longs being wiped out, the weak hands might be gone. Crypto.com news came out. They just laid off 12% of staff to pivot to AI. This is showing the industry is trimming fat for a long fight, and that how important it is to adjust when it comes to AI. You know, that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. But we are seeing massive liquidations across the board as Bitcoin and Ethereum and altcoins have slipped to the downside. Our asymmetrical triangle pattern did play out for Bitcoin to the downside, and of course not to the upside. And look at where we bounced. We did bounce perfectly there on my box, which you guys know I've been dragging that over from this previous support from back here. And so far, this does seem to be trying to hold 1, 2. We're coming back down for a third test now on the 5-minute time frame to see if this is going to hold. And that's a pretty good test here, although I don't like the way this was rejected right here when we were attempting to put in that double bottom on the 5-minute. We did get rejected in validating that potentially, but could we get a triple bottom? A triple bottom on the 5-minute Bitcoin chart? Could we get a triple bottom here? That could have potential. Oil still on the rise here. Now, this is where we really have to be strategic, locked in, right? Because with Bitcoin struggling here at 70K, you know, are we going to run back down? Are we going to retest 60K, 65K? And we have to be very strategic about what goes on around these price levels, right? Because although we are looking at the potential for a Bitcoin bear flag to push us down below 60K potentially, we have to remember that we don't know. We don't know that for sure. Nobody knows that for sure. What's going to happen? And so with that being said, we have to position ourselves right. If you are an investor, if you are a trader, specifically if you're an investor and you're investing in Bitcoin and you're investing in crypto, then, you know, you are needing to pay attention to these price levels, because if you have a long-term game plan, then these price levels will make a lot of sense in the future. And, you know, if you don't pay attention to these price levels now for Bitcoin, Ethereum, especially some of these altcoins, some of these really good altcoins that actually stand a chance to have a place in the future, if we're not paying attention to those, then we will regret it in the future. That is 100%. Now, I do think that the altcoin landscape has changed. The altcoin atmosphere has changed. We did not get an alt season. And, you know, there's a lot of people predicting that we're going to get a massive, massive alt season, bigger than any other alt season ever before. A lot of people are predicting this. But, you know, for that to actually take place at this point in time, I don't think it's going to be the same, because we don't have the same sentiment when it comes to altcoins as before. You know, a lot of altcoins got pushed on false promises and lack of utility. I think going forward, the altcoins that survive are going to be the ones that provide true solutions and utility in the real world. And if they don't hold true to their promises, those altcoins will likely not survive. Those altcoins will not make it into the next cycle. Some already have gotten completely crushed, right? Some have already gotten crushed. And that sucks. But that's why we have to be adaptable in everything. In everything in life, we have to be adaptable. We have to be adaptable in our relationships, in our friendships, in our social life. We have to be adaptable financially. We have to be adaptable mentally to keep up with this crazy, chaotic world that we live in. We have to be adaptable. And if you're not, then one little thing could happen and you know, it could completely destroy your reality or your sense of reality. And that is true to a lot of people, I believe. I believe a lot of people are experiencing that actually now because of all the truth and all the craziness that is coming out right now. And for those of us that have already been thinking, studying, reading, learning about all of these things for years, we're over here just sipping our coffee like, you know, almost forgot I had that coffee sitting there. It's cold. Oh, man, I need to warm up. But we're sitting over here and like, you know, guys, we knew this was coming. We knew this was coming. All this, we didn't know it was coming this like this. I will say that. But we knew. We've known, right? Tap the like button if you've known that. If you're watching the replay of the live, tap the like if you've been in the know. Not woke, but been in the know for a long time. Same with Bitcoin. You know, when we looked at this asymmetrical triangle pattern last night, you know, there was a measure move. We had not broken out either way. So I had not really dictated which way the measure move would go. You know, upside would have really been nice, would have pushed Bitcoin up to 73,200, 300, but the downside measure move played out, and the measurement is perfect, right? It's just the width of the asymmetrical triangle, and confirmed, brought over here to the breakout point, Bitcoin's breakout point there, and, you know, it did play out. It played out very nicely, but what it played out even more than that measure move was simply a support level from previous price action, and this purple box showing that. And so we have landed on top of the purple box now and awaiting to see what happens here on the 5-minute, because now we are in a downtrend, a nice downtrend. Okay. Nice downtrend. And what is it looking like here? What is it looking like here? What are we trying to do? Bitcoin. Can the purple box hold? If the purple box holds, let's see. depending on where we broke out. If we could potentially break out of a falling wedge, Bitcoin, we might be in decent territory here. But if the purple box doesn't hold, I say more consolidation, more downside into the tip of this. But we're getting a nice squeeze between the support and resistance, the downtrend, support and resistance. Where is the chat at? My apologies, bro. I appreciate you, Strigger Heart. The way it is back. Welcome back. I do apologize for not having the chat up there. Totally missed you guys right there, man. I don't apologize. Why? $15-minute RSI not looking too hot. 5-minute, yeah, decent. Now, ETH, though. ETH. Oh, ETH. How you do me like that last night, you know? How you do me like that coming down into my purple box. Sometimes you just don't want the purple box. But, man, the purple box be playing out. What a fake out. But, you know, still ETH holding, you know, Bitcoin struggling with 70K, ETH struggling with 2K, but still holding 2K slightly as of right now. And I think that's kind of a good thing, right? We're not still down at $1,800 ETH, but we could be quickly. It could happen quickly depending on what Bitcoin does here. You know, because Bitcoin's next leg down is going to be definitely 65, 64K. And if that happens, ETH loses 2K, right? ETH loses 2K if that happens. Oh my God, bro. So we just had, in the past hour, we just had, hey, shorts getting liquidated on ETH right now in the past hour. That is wild. So ETH in the past hour getting, the shorts getting liquidated. Are we trying to get a bottom here on the hourly ETH chart with the RSI? Right into the box. Right into the box. Thank you guys for tuning in. Good morning. How are you guys holding up after the FOMC aftermath? Where did the chat go? Green Fingers is back. Good to see you, bro. Deadwood, good morning. Good morning to you, bro. Good morning. Cooking. Let it cook. Only the 100x ETH bears in the last hour. I hope you guys are doing well this morning. What do you guys think about the poll in the chat? Was 60K the Bitcoin bottom? What do you guys think, man? I mean, we still got a ways to go to get back to 60K, you know? A ways to go to get back to 60K. I mean, a ways to go there. Lots of support here in this purple box around the $68,000 area. $68,750. $68,250. $67,875. Oh yeah, just sweeping that right there alone, you know what I'm saying? And that's close. I mean, that's close. Just sweeping that alone though, but what do we got down here? Not much down there. You know, 76,000, we got 114. But that is nothing. There's nothing up there compared to what is right below the current Bitcoin price. So what Bitcoin is doing right now, what the Bitcoin price is doing right now is honestly still following my Bitcoin analysis. You know, I mean, our asymmetrical triangle target hit, we landed into my purple box. Bitcoin has consolidated there. We're looking at losing this though. And, you know, where is the next leg down if Bitcoin loses this support? If Bitcoin loses support here, where do we go next, right? Where do we go next, folks? Oh my goodness. It's getting brutal out there. 68,800. Is that my phone, bro? 68,182. Okay. Okay. I'm seeing something here. And when I look at a chart, I can easily, it's like I can identify all these points of resistance, right? And to me, that is a level that we could go to. That's a level that Bitcoin could bounce at. You've got this area here. So, you know, you've got this area where we came down. And if you go and look over here, same thing, came down with this area. Look at that. Same thing right here, came down. Same thing all the way over here as well, came down. So, and then you can keep going. You keep going back. And it looks like this seems to be a pretty critical level. So, it also seems to be the center of this potential pattern here that was forming also. So I'm looking at around 68,182, potentially $68,200 for Bitcoin if we do come down and lose this this $68,800 level. Right now we are coming down here on the 5-minute to test that falling wedge support. And looks like the RSI is going to try and give us a bounce here at this support on the 5-minute. But we could lose it. It's looking pretty brutal. Looking pretty brutal. Is ETH going to fulfill the measure move of the bear flag? Bear flag measured move target for ETH around $2,020. We are falling now down into the purple box for ETH as well. Market is stumbling here. FOMC aftermath in full effect. And, you know, this energy war that's happening, what happened and the reason that all this is happening is directly related to a lot of what is going on here, right? A lot of what is going on here in the Middle East. And, you know, it is absolutely crazy to me that, you know, we are over here just bombing the hell out of this place. And then they're just going to be, it's just, I can't even begin to get into it, you know? And where is oil at right now? Gas prices through the roof. I know we're feeling that. Gas prices through the roof. You know, how long does this last, right? That temporary pain that Trump mentioned, that temporary pain that Trump has mentioned, how long does the temporary pain last? How long does that temporary pain last, y'all? Here we go with the test of support on the falling wedge. And 5-minute, remember 5-minute RSI says we get a bounce here potentially, but it has not crossed. We could still go lower. But we're seeing the box. We're seeing my purple boxes get their day, right? My purple boxes are getting their day. These levels typically just ranges in previous support and resistance. I do hope that everything is good. Hope you guys are good. The chat, I need to keep the chat up here somehow. That's what I need to do. So you know what? You know what we have to do? We're just going to have to do this. Oh, that's perfect. Now I can see the chat, and then I can get rid of this chat. See, now I can get rid of that chat box. We got the full screen. Oh, man. See, that's better. That is much better. And that way I can actually glance back and forth over here. I'm going to live under 2K for a bit. Look at the bounce. Look at the RSI, you know, and sometimes if you're doing right with these moves like this, you can catch little moves like this move from here to here. Good trades. Right amount of leverage, right amount of risk, good trades. But it just don't always play out, you know, as we seen last night, which also, you know, timing your trading is also important. And typically it's better on weekdays trading in the mornings, early mornings. Sometimes we get a lot of action late night when, you know, Asian markets, you know, or midday, late night. But typically what I've found is definitely early morning trading seems to be better, at least where I am at, you know. Need to hit the fogger. Probably so, because I should have caught this one, you know. Sit here and set it. Should have went ahead and put the trade in, you know. Take the trade, bro. Take the damn trade. Oh, good morning, crypto. And right now is just a really wild time. You know, just a really wild time, bro. Oh man, we got to see if this holds for Bitcoin though. We are going to have to see if that holds. Because if it does, then the falling wedge might do its thing. She's a bouncing. She is a bouncing. Bleed out till next Monday. I saw it bounce off the table and it fell to the floor. That's right. I saw it bounce off the table. Trying to catch it falling, gonna get cut and bleed. I agree. Getting sliced up and diced up in these markets, man. Sliced up and diced up. Good morning. Thanks for joining the stream. Each and every one of you guys, man. I do appreciate you guys. I do need to warm up. My coffee is cold. Thank you guys for smashing that like button as well. Greatly helps the stream, and I do appreciate that. What's up, Amy? Army Piper, what's going on? Welcome. Yo, choppy, crab walking, choppy. Getting a nice, beautiful bounce off of my falling wedge support, though. I'm just saying. We just put that in a few seconds ago, and we did get a nice, beautiful bounce off of that, as many people probably thought Bitcoin was going to plummet here at 68,800, but actually that was support. And see, we are actually going to the upside. But as soon as people think that it's going to keep going up here, well, we're going to find some resistance up here somewhere around 69,500, 69,750-ish. So right now, though, we did get a nice bounce. That was a beautiful bounce. Good entry for a little scalp right there, honestly. In between these support and resistance levels. Identified. Trend identified. I do need a quick warm-up, though. When you putting some short... Is sunny out? The sun's out when you putting some shorts on, bro. I love it. You know... I feel like if I was going to short the market, I mean, I know the trend, you trade the trend is still bearish. Even if we go up, the trend is still bearish until we break certain levels, reclaim certain levels, until certain indicators do certain things. But man, you know what? You know me. You've been following me for long enough that you know me. You know that I just trade. I don't do well with shorts. as far as like this far into the market. We're so close to levels. These levels are just so, some of these levels, altcoins are so low. Bitcoin, it's just, I'm not really a perma bull. I'm not really a perma bull. Okay. I mean, I am a perma bull, but not when it comes to trading. It's just that I have been able, I feel like I identify certain trends better than I do others. But then again, using certain indicators shouldn't matter really, because when you use certain indicators, just using like RSI and MACD, volume, support and resistance, those alone can give you the short entries too, you know? I mean, like this right here, this asymmetrical triangle breakdown was beautiful. And then, you know, what's crazy though is like you would have had to paid really close attention to that RSI and the MACD when it was back here at the resistance to get that entry in there. But you know, losing that support, also an entry, right? Losing that support after it being tested over 4 times there. Bitcoin struggling to reclaim $70,000. If you're trading this right now, what are you trading? And how is that going for you this morning? Would love to hear about it in the chat. We are an active community in the chat. Guys, get into the chat and talk about it. And talk some crypto. They think I'm a perma bull. I'm not exactly a perma bull, but I am perma bull long term. Perma bull long term. Arcade, very good point there. Sometimes looking at things inverted shows you a different perspective, and that is very true. Very true. Now, let's see if Bitcoin does something here. If we come up and break through the downtrend, or do we continue to get rejected, consolidate, crab walk to the downside? We're going to have to play the crab walk song. Masked Blink, what is going on? And thank you for commenting and engaging with us tonight. I mean, this morning. Might be nighttime for some of you. I don't know. I know it might be nighttime for Green Fingers, potentially. Or am I wrong? I forget. 80,000 pretty soon. I mean, you know, if we can get back above 70K and continue to hold 70K, I think so. But if we lose 68, this is well, it's actually cold and I need to go get a warm up, but I just haven't stepped away yet. But I need to do that. Come on, ETH. Let's see how she do here, because we're finally forming something a little bit different than these, you know, breakdowns. Let's see if we can break up here. I got permission for what? The crab walk? Crab walk it like you talk it? Okay. Hold on. Hold on. I got you. I got you. You just gave me a really good idea. 1 second. You gave me a really good idea, bro. Bro, we've got to do it. Let's see if we can do this, man. Let's see what we got, man. Let's see what we got. Big bottoms make the charts blast off. What? Okay. Big bottoms make the charts blast off. I needed that this morning. I think all of us need that this morning. I think all of us probably need a little humor this morning, right? After such a massive FOMC crash. I mean, I say massive FOMC crash. It's really not that bad. I mean, it's not, you know, we have to be real. It's not that bad. Bitcoin's at freaking 69. Wait. They're messing with us, bro. I swear if the next all-time high, if the next Bitcoin all-time high is $420,000 and it doesn't go to 500K like everybody thinks or whatever, and they stop us out at 420K because whoever is really controlling Bitcoin is got jokes. They got jokes. You think about it, you know? I mean, 69K. Come on now. Faking everybody out with the 69. 69. Oh, God. 69, bro. Whatever happened to that guy? Hold on. Check this out one time.
Showing on the charts now. Fat bottom girls make the whole world blast off. Fat bottom girls make the whole world blast off. Rounded bottoms, they're blasting off. Blasting off. Blasting off. Crab walking sideways, money looking funny. Hey, counting up this digital honey, ain't a dummy. No, looks like the charts are ready to ride. All these rounded bottoms showing on the charts now. Fat bottom girls make the whole world blast off. Fat bottom girls make the whole world blast off. Rounded bottoms, they're blasting off. Blasting off. Blasting off.
What was...
Showing on the charts now. Fat bottom girls make the whole world blast off. Fat bottom girls make the whole world blast off.
Bro. That was awful. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. What even was that, bro? Oh my God. 6-7? No, I don't know what that was. That was some insane, something crazy. We need a crab walk intro for the crab walking days. Okay, here we go.
Looking stagnant. BTC crab walking like it talk it. Got my bags packed, waiting on a breakout. Whales making waves, gotta figure it out. Resistance too strong, pushing back on the price. But the support holding, man, it's looking real nice. Bitcoin crab walking like it talk it.
Bro, that is loud.
Doing nothing, looking stagnant. BTC crab walking like it talk it. Got my bags packed, waiting on a breakout. Whales making waves, gotta figure it out. Resistance too strong, pushing back on the price. But the support holding, man, it's looking real nice. Bitcoin crab walking like it talk it. Crab walking like it talk it.
charts ain't doing nothing, looking stagnant. BTC crab walking like it, talk it. Got my bags waiting on a break. Whales making waves, gotta figure it out.
Dude. You know, I just think that this is crazy that you can do this now. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna freaking you know, I love music, man. More chart? Oh no, dude. More charts in my life? Oh no, dude. No. I can't. It's already too much. That's right, man. I mean, seriously, like I would love to just play nothing but
Charts are sideways, stacking candles slow. Stacking up. That BTC crab walking like a talkie, watch the status grow. They were sleeping on the vision, now they see the master plan. Got that quiet confidence, I always knew exactly where we stand. From resistance to the moon, yeah, you know we'll make the play. Cause that Bitcoin crab walking like a talkie every single day. Charts are sideways, stacking candles slow. Stacking up. That BTC crab walking like a talkie, watch the status grow. They were sleeping on the vision, now they see the master plan. Got that quiet confidence, I always knew exactly where we stand. From resistance to the moon, yeah, you know we'll make the play. Cause that Bitcoin crab walking like a talkie every single day.
Hey, that's pretty cool though. That is pretty cool that you can do that, you know? Making some crypto music to go with our streams is going to be cool, you know? Especially when you can literally just like you can make a quick little snippet of like something related to something that's happening right now. That is crazy. Crab walking. AJR, Average Joe Records, bro. New idea, bro. Average Joe Records. That's gonna be it, man. Average Joe Records. And we're gonna put out crypto hits, man. Arcade, let's get it. Bro, we're gonna put out crypto hits, man. Crypto hits, bro. And if you're not using like 4 AIs at once, man, if you're not using 4 AIs at once, at least 4 AIs at once, then what are we even doing, you know? If you're not using like one AI to write your prompts for the other AIs and so on and so forth, man, I'm telling you what, like at this point, it's so overwhelming for people like me. Like I get overwhelmed very easily, guys. I need medication probably. I get overwhelmed very easily. And so it can be very difficult sometimes to execute some of the things that I can formulate ideas and plans in my head, but it can be very difficult to execute sometimes because I just get so easily overwhelmed from things. But man, talk about getting overwhelmed. AI is overwhelming. You ask it one question, bro, and it writes you a book, and I'm like, bro, I can't be doing this. I ain't got time to read all of that. I asked you one question, and you wrote me an entire book, an entire thesis, and with multiple explanations. Like, just give it to me straight, bro. We got to fix the AI when it comes to that. Crypto bangers. That's right. Crypto bangers, man.
Yeah, wake up checking charts, it's rain or shine. Okay, BTC crab walking like a talk it, stack it up, no time to waste. They were laughing at the vision, now they see the master plan. Ay, built this from the mud, you wouldn't understand. Slow money better, yeah, that's the motto, that's the creed. Crab walking to the breakout, planting money trees, yeah. Yeah, wake up checking charts, it's rain and looking stagnant. Okay. BTC crab walking like it talk it. Got my bags packed, waiting on a breakout. Whales making waves, gotta figure it out. Resistance too strong, pushing back on the price. Yeah. But the support holding, man, it's looking real nice. Let's go. Bitcoin crab walking like it talk it. Crab walking like it talk it. Charts are sideways, doing nothing, looking stagnant. That BTC crab walking like a talk it, watch the status grow. They were sleeping on the vision, now they see the master plan. Got that quiet confidence, I always knew exactly where we stand. From resistance to the moon, yeah, you know we'll make the play. Cause that Bitcoin crab walking like a talk it every single day.
I like it, bro. I like it. Time to make some freaking crypto dubstep, man. Some crypto dubstep, bro. I am going to go grab a warm up.
Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad.
What's going on, Todd? What is this music? What are y'all doing? I'll leave y'all alone for 2 seconds, man. Okay. All right, guys. What happened? What happened? 300 million trade going? Todd's got a $300 million trade going. Let's get it. Wait, I missed it. Are you long or short? I missed it, bro. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. Coming for the shorts. I got you. Look, I only have the rising, or I mean the falling wedge target in here because, you know, because it's a falling wedge. It's the only reason, though. I mean, if it changes, you know, I'll change it. I mean, but it's a falling wedge. 15-minute, 5-minute falling wedge, you gotta admit. And we came down bouncing off the purple box perfectly after getting rejected by this purple box perfectly. So, do we go back to the previous support? Look at that. The measured move aligns with the previous support right there perfectly. So do we go back to the previous support first? Or do we continue to slope down? This purple box is holding very nicely on the 15-minute. Can we get it to hold on the 30-minute? Oh? ETH as well? Same thing? I got something for this channel later. Right now I'm using purchasing power. Todd? I'm confused. Don't you go surprising me now with some crazy super chat or something. I might have a panic attack, bro. Legit. Might have a panic attack. Sending me a $400 super chat with your $300 million trade. Let's go. Let's go, man. Look, I swear, if someone sent me something like that, I think I would just have to do something just have to do a giveaway or do something with some of it. If somebody sent me something like that. I mean, you know, I'd feel bad. I'd feel wrong for just taking that money like that. That's a lot of money. I've seen it though. I've seen it in other channels, you know. People sending like hundreds, you know, $200, $300 super chats is crazy. Paying it forward does get much respect, and you know, I'm a pay it forward kind of guy, honestly. I mean, when we hit 10K subscribers, I gave away $500 in Bitcoin. You know, and then I did a lot of other giveaways too back then. I mean, to be honest, I hurt myself a little bit by doing so many giveaways. If I just want to be real with you guys about it, like, might as well, you know, that was 2021, you know, that was a long time ago. But might as well just be real about it. I did, man. I hurt myself a little bit doing some of those giveaways, giving away, you know, a lot of crypto that I was holding at the time, and that crypto that I was holding then. Yeah, you know, it's just not saying I hurt myself, because it was good for the community, right? It was good for the community, but I think you guys know what I'm saying, right? You know, right? You guys understand. I mean, I did a lot of things, like when we created our coin and everything, and I mean, I took a lot of money of my own crypto holdings that I had been holding since 2018, used those profits to invest into the community. I really did try my best to reinvest back into this community, to build it and grow it, but you know, I just went too hard in the beginning. I went too hard in the beginning, I think. But you guys can see that I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. And you know, when the time is right, I think that I will do this again, you know, like another giveaway when we hit another threshold of subscribers one day. We'll bring all the fun and excitement back into the space, man, because right now it's just that is missing, you know. That's missing, and it's a bear market, you know. Bear markets aren't very fun or exciting, but bear markets are where you make your money. Bear markets are for building, bear markets are for stacking, bear markets are for growing. And so, you know, we have to kind of just do the opposite of the herd, man. You've got to do the opposite of the herd, y'all. And if you agree with that, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Cut out. Dude, is somebody messing with me, bro? Okay, tell me why whenever the stream hits like, okay, so when we hit like 9 or 10 people in the stream, bro, every single time, like my CPU spikes or something, and it shorts my microphone out and does weird things. And it did it that time right when I was about to say, you know, do the call to action thing, you know? What the hell, bro? Somebody's sabotaging me. Let's get it, man. I don't even care. Where were we at, you know, before we got hit with the electromagnetic pulse, man? Where were we at? the shorts getting it. Bear markets are for shorting, let's be real. I mean, you're right. Green fingers, you're not wrong, my friend. Bear markets are for building, though. And you know what? It's like the giveaways, you know, I don't know if the giveaways hurt the channel. Maybe it brought a lot of people to the channel that were there for the wrong reasons, maybe, potentially, but I still think that it was the right thing to do, right? Because, I mean, getting to 10K subscribers was a big milestone, man. And so, and $500 in Bitcoin at that time for me was a big deal for me. You know, that was quite a few years ago. I mean, and that was a big deal to me. Something, man. It does bring the bots, and that is bad for the channel. You're right. But isn't that crazy? It's probably gonna get worse with AI, or should it get better from the AI? Maybe it should get better because AI should be able, you know, YouTube's AI should be able to detect those bots and should be able to get rid of all that stuff easier. You would think. Any bottom callers here? Giving back when we receive creates. I like it. The loop. I like it. I agree. 100%. We just have to keep it moving, man. Just like Bitcoin keeps it moving. And you know, we don't have to feel bad about... We don't have to feel bad. Right? Everything going on around us is designed to make us feel bad. It's designed to make us not want to do good things. It's designed to make us not care about the things we should care about, like our mental and spiritual and emotional and physical health, friendships, family, things like that. Everything around us is designed to keep us from all of those things that are so important. Everything we watch and we see and we listen to, that's why, bro, I stopped listening to... I almost don't listen to music with words anymore. I mean, I listen to mostly really upbeat, tropical house instrumentals, sax, really good upbeat stuff, not bluesy sax, but tropical sax. And I've recently came across some really good manifestation and law of attraction and abundance AI music on YouTube, which is really cool. And you know, all you gotta do is kind of look it up. But you know, now in the age of AI music, we don't have to succumb to all of the programming, all of the craziness. We don't have to conform unwillingly. You know, a lot of people don't even realize it that they're conforming, but they are unwillingly to the system. We can now escape it. AI can be a means of good, you know? It can be a means of good, if you agree. But I mean, you have to use it for a means of good. You have to be a good person and have good intentions, right? AI does not have intention. AI just is following prompts until it becomes self-aware, of course. 2072. Oh, that's going to be a good year. Any bottom callers? I'm calling it. Right here, we're breaking out and we're going to move on up. We're going to push up here to retest some of these previous resistance and support levels. Yeah, we're gonna pop right here. Can I redact my statement? Greenfingers, will you allow me to redact that statement? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, really, likely, right? Likely bounce here. Don't know exactly how. Don't exactly know if the measure move there will fulfill. Will the measure move fulfill? You know, the RSI is nasty looking kind of on the 15-minute. Right? I mean, but we are approaching the resistance. Don't like the RSI though on the 5 or the 15. But let's see. Let's see if this old falling wedge can make a move. Welcome to the stream. Good morning. It is a good day, regardless of what the markets do. It's a good day. It's a good day to have a good day. It's a good day to be good. I just realized that I went to get a fresh cup of coffee, and I'm gonna sit here and let it get cold too, if I'm not careful. Well, we've only got 12 votes on this poll, but looks like everybody thinks that I don't know. We're almost neck and neck with it right there, but looks like a lot of people believe that the bottom was not in at 60K, so we're going lower. Bitcoin bottom not in at 60K. We need to we got to address the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room. And that is oh no, did you do it? Oh no. Not the... Did you do it, Deadwood? Look, my microphone, I don't know, did that cause anything to you, mess anything up for you guys? Maybe not? Maybe we're okay. Sometimes I don't know what the heck. Sometimes I feel like if I move my head, it's going to mess it up. I'll tell you what I definitely got to do. I definitely got to get a good new set of headphones for this mic. For sure. Okay, but... macro pressure crushing crypto. With oil surging, the Fed policy and ETF outflows, heavy pressure on BTC and altcoins right now. Bitcoin price undercut $70,000 as higher for longer policy ways. Cryptocurrency stocks also retreating early Thursday, and Bitcoin skidded back below 70,000 as oil prices continue to jump amid escalating energy attacks in the Middle East. While the Federal Reserve maintained interest rates and signaled only one cut this year. In addition, the Securities and Exchange Commission this week announced new definitions for digital assets and approved Nasdaq's proposal for tokenized trading. So everything is going on chain. The price of Bitcoin early Thursday fell below $69,300, retreating from its Monday high of $75,600.
Around long-term support levels. We'll get to that, and also an exciting earnings report after the close in Micron. And joining me now to discuss all that and more is my colleague, Ken Shreve. Ken, what do you have for us today?
Yeah, lots of headlines to go over today. Ali, we had our second straight hotter than expected reading on wholesale and prices, a Fed meeting, but found three different stocks, oil and gas stock, a chip equipment stock, and aerospace and defense stock. Let's talk about Waterbridge Infrastructure, WBI, in the chip equipment group. A little known name, Israeli company called Nova, NVMI, and in the aerospace and defense group, it's going to be Curtiss Wright, CW.
All right, all worth reviewing. We'll get to those, but first we want to take a closer look at the major indexes, and we'll start.
Bitcoin sell signals flashing. Bitcoin plunging, sell signals flashing, mixed indicators. Global uncertainty. Fed plus Iran tensions impacting the markets. With Bitcoin retreating from a 6-week high ahead of the Fed rate decision. We did get that quick bounce in, but it immediately did get rejected. Bitcoin briefly spiked after the Fed announcement, showing how reactive crypto is to macro news. With the oil-driven sell-off pushing Bitcoin even lower, struggling to maintain above 70K.
Pointing to a very rough day for U.S. stocks. What are the odds of a major sell-off at this point? And I'm not just talking about a couple of more percentage points.
Yeah, much higher than they were a week ago, that's for sure. As you've been hearing from everybody today, I mean, the significant change over the weekend is the fact that oil prices are now above $100 rather than below, and they're quite likely going to stay there for some time as well. That's a game changer, really, across asset classes, not just for US markets. There was a feeling among investors last week to some point when the US dollar was very strong. Maybe the Federal Reserve as a central bank could consider lowering interest rates, that there was some kind of insulation for US equities from some of the moves going on in the rest of the world. That really is out the window now. You're seeing such deep sell-offs across the rest of the world, here in Asia, in Europe as well. Treasury markets, yields climbing there aggressively. People now really on the back foot because of the jump in energy prices as well. There is zero chance that the Federal Reserve can constitute an interest rate cut in the near term. In fact, the way things are going, it looks like there will be a jump in inflation for US consumers as much as anybody else around the world. And that, under normal conditions, would make people think that interest rate hikes would be on the table. We're seeing that certainly priced in Europe, in Australia, in many parts of the world now. The conditions have changed completely. So rather than US equities being somehow on the edge of all of this, they're being dragged right into the center of it, and it'll be very surprising if the US market can withstand this onslaught which is coming from the rest of the world now. They're really just a full part of it. You might get some some soothing messages. Federal Reserve speakers may say they're going to take their time, they're going to assess all the data. We had a weak jobs report on Friday. People have looked past that pretty quickly. But when you've got oil prices above 100 and the impact it's going to have, US stocks are going to have a pretty tough time.
Yes. Mark, just very briefly, when I woke up this morning, we were looking at $120, $125 a barrel for oil, and I started to think things were getting disorderly and maybe out of control of the US administration entirely. Is that a risk this week?
The markets are extremely volatile. We no doubt will get central bankers trying to cool things down. The fact that the G7 is considering releasing some of that oil together, you can tell that the authorities are very, very concerned by what they're seeing. But typically when it's markets which are becoming unhinged, we look to central bankers, we look to them to be able to get everybody back and to say the markets are functioning properly, all that kind of thing. So we can expect a slew of European central bankers, Federal Reserve, all around the world, all trying to make people feel better. It's going to be very difficult when you've got oil prices where they are.
Bitcoin slumps to 66K as oil breakout adds macro pressure. Rebounding slightly here within this falling wedge pattern, looking for a potential breakout, but also looking for more downside if support is lost. Where can we see Bitcoin go to by the end of 2026? What will the Bitcoin price be the end of the year 2026, right? Q4 2026. What are we looking at seeing going on? What are we looking at potentially for the Bitcoin and the crypto market to potentially go to leading into the summer and the end of the year? Because that is really where I'm at. That's the question I'm asking myself. Where is the price going to be in the middle of the summer? Where is it going to be going into the fall? And where is it going to be going into the end of the year? And, what are we going to do with that? What are we going to do with that? And right now, what's actually driving the markets, really, we know. It's not moving on the news alone. It's definitely moving on Federal Reserve policy. And with potentially Jerome Powell potentially not leaving, if Warsh is not confirmed in time, this could definitely put a hold and a damper on things for Bitcoin. Oil prices and inflation fears also driving the price of Bitcoin and the crypto market. Geopolitical tensions with the Iran situation, ETF flows, money in and out. And this is a macro-driven market, not a hype cycle. Yet, anyways. The hype will come. The hype will come, though, after these bottom level prices that we're going to see or that we have already seen are way gone and the price is already up higher, much higher. That is when the hype will return. So the real strategic thing for people to do that are watching this stream, the real strategic thing for anyone to do that is trying to invest into Bitcoin or this market, the strategic thing to do is not to wait for the hype. If you're wanting to invest, the strategic thing to do is to DCA and buy the dips. Some people will tell you that's not the right thing to do, and I don't agree with that. I think DCAing and buying them dips is the right thing to do, and hodl that long term, that is the right thing to do. What is going on? Sant 00. Hey dude, what's going on, man? Thank you. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Welcome to the stream, guys. The intelligent thing to do is definitely not waiting for the hype. Not waiting for, the macro to flush everybody out. Right now people are selling out of fear. Can you believe it? People are selling their bags out of fear. We don't want to be those people. we want to do the opposite of the herd. We want to invest properly. Investing properly means accepting the bear market for what it truly is. And the bear market is a great opportunity. Whether it seems like it or not, if you ignore all the fear around you, if you ignore all the things happening, if you ignore all of this, then you will see and you will realize and you will notice that Bitcoin is also going to ignore it when the time is right. The simulation in full effect for those that believe in the simulation. Thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it very much. Now, currently still on the 5-minute Bitcoin chart, waiting for Bitcoin to decide whether these touches are enough, and can we get a little weakness here at this resistance enough to push through it, or do we fall back into the purple box after holding support slightly on the purple box? Can Bitcoin continue higher? Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for smashing that like button, and thank you for subscribing to the channel. I do appreciate you. The coffee is hitting. Let's run the chat up, guys. Run the chat up. I want each of you guys right now to name one specific altcoin. One specific altcoin that you believe will actually survive. And by survive, I mean long term, 5 years or more. Let's run the chat up. One specific altcoin from each of you that you think will be here in 5 years still. And I'm going to go ahead and go with one. I'm going to go ahead and go with one that I think will still be here in 5 years, that has been here since I first got into crypto in 2018. I believe Chainlink will be here. I believe Chainlink will be here in 5 years still. Let's see what you guys think. Deadwood, very good one there. That was right off the whip right there. Short USDT. Todd BTC King says Dogecoin will still be here in 5 years. You know, out of all the meme coins in the space, I think that's the one that will still be here in 5 years, and maybe a few others, but for sure, out of the meme coin space, we do have to look at Doge, right? Deadwood with the AI narrative, I do agree. I do agree. So we got Doge, BitSensor. Anybody think that XRP is going to be big in 5 years? Will XRP be a long-term hold? Long shot for AI is OpenServe. You know, I only say this because I don't think a lot of altcoins will survive, so that's why I say this. XRP almost stable in my opinion, like a bank. I know Deadwood knows I've heard your opinion many times, and I know I've learned a little bit about it actually from you. I really steered clear of XRP for a long time because of the fact that, you know, when I learned about Bitcoin and crypto, the most attractive thing about it was the decentralized nature of it. So when I realized how centralized XRP and Ripple really was, I had to steer clear of it, even if it could have brought return as an investment. You know, you kind of have to have a little bit of conviction in what you're investing in. You can't, you know, it'd be like investing in something immoral or something, you know. But yeah, I you know, when I learned about Bitcoin, the biggest part about it was the decentralized nature of it. Even though we're seeing that be attacked, really, right? Bitcoin is going to go down. You know, I think there's a possibility Bitcoin is going to go down. But I think that we could see some type of run to the upside first. But, you know, it would be a very short-term move because there's just too much down here. Honestly, you know, I think that when it comes to Bitcoin, we're going to see... Yeah, when it comes to Bitcoin, we're going to see some massive liquidations, okay? Like, these are over leveraged right here. Bad. These long positions right here, I feel like are definitely over leveraged. They're way too close, and I think it's gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna happen. We got $500 million. We got like 500 million. 500 million. 500 million in liquidations coming right there. You know, that's nothing to play with. That's nothing to play with. That's enough to make it happen. Okay. And with it being so close, too. With it being so close, you know, we kind of have to look at that. That's very, very close to the current price of Bitcoin with the recent drop. We'll zoom out. You know, there is still some up here around 76, but let's zoom out. So at 79, okay, so at 79 to 80,000, there's definitely a lot. Okay. At 79 to 80,000, you know, we've got 200 here. $250 million at $79,625. Another 100 million at 79,900. Another 200 million at 80,200. Another 132 million at 80,600. And another 100 million at 80,900. So I mean, all the way up to 81.5 is another 113 million. So 81.5, bro, 81,500 between 79,000 and 81,500. There's definitely a billion. There's a B in there, okay, of liquidation volume. So with that being said, there's still a chance for Bitcoin to run and liquidate those. There is still a chance for those liquidations to be met, right? I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. You know what I think, though? You know what I think? You know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? Because it's already so close to those long liquidations. It's already so close. The price is already so close to liquidating those longs. Those, you know, they're over leveraged. They are going to, Bitcoin is going to drop, liquidate the longs before it shoots up here and liquidates all of the shorts. Right? Because you're already so close. It wouldn't have to go the price wouldn't have to drop very low to liquidate at this point. And then it would make so much sense. And just as I explained in my video, about the recent move for Bitcoin, you know, when you look at that, you can see that the same thing happens here. Squeeze that we're about to talk about. You know, this is big, and this is likely, and the price action seems to be getting ready to set up for something like this, because, you know, we break out, we run up here to the previous high, liquidate the shorts, then we pull back down, liquidating the longs, form a cup and handle, hold the back test, at support on top of the resistance. It just makes too much sense, right? Follow me on X and let's connect. It just makes too much sense because of what we're seeing happen, and because of where the liquidation levels are at. It happened the same way there, the same thing happened there, and the same thing is likely to happen again. Sweep and go. What's the song? I'm not really sure. You think Bitcoin is going down? New purple box. You know what? We might have to form a new purple box. Thank you guys for being here today. I do appreciate it. So we do know that the Fed decision alone was not what is pushing the price of Bitcoin, right? We know that the Fed decision alone is not what's pushing the price of Bitcoin or the rest of the financial markets. We know. You can look at the dollar, you can look at the stock market, you can look at especially the dollar, but we know that oil-driven sell-off pushing Bitcoin lower. We do know this is one of the biggest things pushing the risk off. And what we have to do is plan accordingly here. You know, over half a billion in liquidations coming right up, and then a quick move to the upside to liquidate again. It happens, and it'll keep happening. So, you know, we just keep on following it, man. Keep on following it. Currently, we're still within the falling wedge. Look at that. Still within the falling wedge. ETH still in the purple box. Waiting. Let's see what we can do here. What do you guys think? At the current price of Bitcoin at 69,200, what do you guys think? Bull or bear? Where are you guys at? Let me know. If you think 70K is going to be a bottom here, 69 to 70K, or do we drop lower to 65 or retest 60K? If you think we are going to break to the upside here, consolidating on this purple box, drop a rocket emoji in the chat. If you think that we are going to drop lower to 65, 60K, drop a bear emoji in the chat. You can drop a bull emoji if you're bullish, drop a bear emoji if you're bearish, drop it in the chat. I see we're bullish, Todd. Bullish on the shorts. Sant00 is bear. Bear. Shorts. Green fingers dropping the shorts emoji. Shorts. 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 Our arcade is bearish. Are you bullish or bearish? Bearish, drop a bear, or a short. You could drop the shorts emoji. Bullish or bearish? Deadwood. I'm assuming that means bearish. I'm assuming that means bearish. Do we get a bounce or do we continue lower? Bearish continuation or bullish bounce? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. What altcoin right now might be doing something different, if anything can right now? Bitcoin really controlling it, oil controlling it, macro definitely controlling it, Fed policy controlling it. Are there any outliers at all right now? If you guys know one, drop it in the chat. Ralph, what is going on? Welcome to the stream. The music is loud. I can turn it down. I appreciate you for letting me know. Is this better? Because I can't really tell how loud it is on my end. Bullish on gold. Doge about to hit 9 flat. Ugh. Oil went up 3% in just 10 minutes this morning. Cannot hear the music. I may need to let me double check. Bullish or bearish, guys? Anybody joining the stream? Bullish, bearish? Reaction? Let me double check. Are we breaking to the upside? Bitcoin, falling wedge, breakout to the upside. Let me double check. We'll be here in 5 years still. I mean, I think it sounds pretty good. Music is a little bit loud, not gonna lie. Music is a little bit loud, but sharing the stream is a great way to help support the channel. Good bounce. Right off my purple box, too. Are we going to consolidate into a breakout out of this wedge? It is a possibility, but, you know, we have to pay attention to the indicators. But the indicators can be misleading at times. We just have to be careful here. Look at, speaking of indicators, though, look at Ethereum's hourly MACD and RSI. Right in the purple box. Right in the purple box. But let's just see what we do, because again, can be misleading at times, especially during bearish times, bearish news. $17 votes on the poll in the chat. Double Zero Man, I appreciate you. Enjoy your lunch, bro, and thank you for being here and engaging with us today. I do appreciate it. Eagle Eye AI or Eagle's View AI? Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye AI sounds cool. Crab walking. Eagle eye. Crab walking. Yo.
Yeah, wake up checking charts, it's rain or shine. Okay, BTC crab walking like a talk it, stack it up, no time to waste. They were laughing at the vision, now they see the master plan. Ay, built this from the mud, you wouldn't understand. Slow money better, yeah, that's the motto, that's the creed. Crab walking to the breakout, planting money trees, yeah.
Well, we now officially have a crab walking song for BTC. We got a Bitcoin crab walk song. We got a rounded bottom song. We're going to have to come out with a few more songs, you know. We're going to have a breakout song. We're going to have a dump song, a dump it song, a pump it song. I'm going to get it all together, man. Okay. Like right now, we need a breakout song. But, you know, technically the breakout song can be the rounded bottom song, right? It can be the rounded bottom song. Man, I do appreciate you guys today because honestly, you know, it's been a healthy stream, at least. You know, it's been a healthy stream. And that's what matters most for the algorithm right now. Building, bro. And it's been a pretty healthy stream, guys. I appreciate it. It really has been. And don't need to short the shorts. You know, I don't know about going live so close together. You know, I think maybe that might have an issue, but I mean, the last few live streams have done very good. Like 300 views, 200 views, you know, I mean, not very good for as far as us rebuilding, you know, consistency with it. I'm afraid that when I go live too close together, like I've got one from the 17th, 18th, March 19th, but then like this live is also March 19th. And I just feel like going live twice in a day is not good for the algorithm or something. Seems like it's not good. For at least for small channels. Maybe once you get bigger, maybe it's better. But Strigahar, you still here, bro? I appreciate you. Still waiting for the Deadwood and what? I know, right? I know, man. I know. Got to get the green fingers emojis, man. You know, got to build though first. Got to rebuild. Rebuild. But yeah, I definitely think that I'm figuring a few things out at least. I swear, look, if I end the stream and we break out and run, that'd be typical, right? That'd be typical. Bro, come on now. A mini up channel. We're coming up on resistance, so this will be the true test. If it's a breakout of the falling wedge or a fake out, we're just gonna run up to the previous support resistance, fall back down into the box. We really didn't. We only went into the box really once, maintaining support above it. Bro. Oh, right at my resistance line, bro. I mean, close enough, you know what I'm saying? Can we break it though? I don't like, look at that. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Anyways, it is looking like I know what I'm talking about. That's what it's looking like. It's looking like I know what I'm talking about, man. We may be forming something else. Falling wedge might not form, might not hold. If we invalidate, fall back into the box, down to the box, tapping that 69,800 resistance, 69,700 right below it. V-shaped recovery incoming. Really? Well, no. Nowhere near here yet. maybe if I might be a good chance to grab some scalps, but I'm not the volatility, you know, but right now the uncertainty and everything is too much to really bet on anything like bottom for sure being a bottom yet. I just ain't I'm not there yet with it. I do think 60K is very likely though. I mean, the only reason I say that though is because I just makes sense for Bitcoin to do that to people. For everyone to be thinking the bottom is not in at 60K. I mean, it's just in Bitcoin's nature. It's in Bitcoin's nature to just completely destroy whatever the majority thinks is going to happen. It's in Bitcoin's nature to liquidate, destroy what everybody thinks. You think the all-time high is going to be this? No. It's either going to be right above it or right below it. That way, everyone gets liquidated. Except for the market makers. But not everyone. But the manipulation is real. You know, it always has been. It is real. But now it's going to get a little bit different with the adoption taking place. But still, it's yeah, definitely the heat map, because that's where the liquidations are. So following that is how you can follow what they are doing. The market makers, money movers are doing. They're liquidating the ones that cannot afford to stay in, the ones that don't have enough capital to stay in. You know, if your liquidation levels are too close, if you can't keep them far enough away from your entry, then they're going to get you. They're going to come and get you. They're going to come and they're going to sweep. But Bitcoin, though, it just, I think that if you look at the weekly, monthly time frame charts for Bitcoin, it definitely looks like we could go lower. If you compare the cycles, if the cycles are truly going to still be the same, if the Bitcoin market cycle is going to continue to follow the 4-year cycle based off the halving. I mean, is it going to, though? With everything that's happening this year, or that could happen or could not happen, could be put on hold, could not be put on hold. I mean, there's a lot of things that could change, but one thing's for certain. The price of Bitcoin will one day be extremely higher than the current price. That is one thing that is for certain, that you can bet on for sure, because even if it goes lower, right? Even if it goes lower, but we're seeing all the adoption take place. We're seeing the acceleration. We're seeing the ones that once argued against it jumping on board the Bitcoin train. Okay, so we can bet on one thing for sure. The price of Bitcoin in the future will be, even if it is at one point much lower, it will be much, much, much higher than the current price. 5 years, 10 years. I mean, that is one thing we can bet on for sure. Now, what's happening here? Looks like we might be getting a back test. This could be a potential scalp. Like, I would get on the back test right there, right? Pew, pew, pew. Run it up, Bitcoin, from 69.5 to 69.8, 69.7. If it holds, can you trust a 1 minute RSI before it crosses? Do you trust it? Do you trust it? Right off of the downtrend there. Making moves. Bitcoin. Do you trust the 1 minute RSI enough to even attempt a 1 minute Bitcoin scalp with like 100x leverage? You really have to. You really have to at that point. You got to have some real faith and trust in that. But you know, I do it. People do it. I think it is doable. Personally, though, I don't like this one. I like this one better. See, we had the RSI cross down here. Same thing. MACD was below the bars down here, though. See, the MACD is now currently above the bars. So really, a good scalp was here before it crossed the LSMA. See, now we're below the LSMA, right? So the good scalp trade for Bitcoin was right here. RSI cross with MACD below the bars, red, below the red bars. Price crosses above the LSMA. Oh, yeah. If you get in right there at the RSI cross right here, that was the beautiful scalp from 69,100 to 69,600. Beautiful scalp right there. And that's simple, easy, right? I mean, honestly, you've got the support showing and then the crossover above the LSMA. But before you had that, you had this. Right? Before you had that, you had the cross and the MACD. So the cross there, the MACD cross, LSMA cross, all the crosses leading to the trade, right? Leading you into the trade. And so that is how this is how I do these 1 minute scalp trades with Bitcoin. You know, I mean, it's just this right here though is important. Even if you can see that even though these were good entries too, same thing over here, right? Same thing here. Same thing here. Each time was a nice bounce, nice little scalp, nice little scalp. But the thing about the MACD coinciding with the RSI and with the LSMA is like the MACD gives you more confluence that the trade is going to be good. See how much more you got out of that one. See, because the MACD was down way below the bars crossing, not, you know, crossing above the bars here like it did, or crossing like right in the bars right here. It was crossing below the bars, and it always crosses after the RSI. RSI crosses first. That's your entry. Really, your confirmation though comes here, I believe. So your entry is in the RSI. But then you can get your confirmation from the MACD. And when the MACD crosses along with a cross of the LSMA, confirmation, you're good. That's a good trade. But see, now at this point, you'd have to wait. See where the MACD is. Even though the RSI is telling me, you know, we could go up here, I don't like where the MACD is. So I don't think this is a good opportunity or good chance yet. LSMA getting rejected too, you know. It's a good time to be patient, in my opinion. Wait for another opportunity like this one. But for sure, you've got the cross there. The cross here. Let's see. And the cross there. And that right there can really set you up. Just that right there. Using those right there. And this works on any time frame, not just the 1 minute time frame, but I mean it works on other time frames, 5 minute, 15-minute time frame too. And this strategy using just RSI, MACD, and the LSMA. So they're all free indicators. Just search for them: LSMA, MACD, stochastic RSI. You know, most people in trading already, you know, most of you guys already know all this, but for the average Joes out there that don't, right? If you're just an investor, maybe you're looking to get into trading, or even if you're an investor and you're looking to find ways to find good entries, good spot buying opportunities, you know, some of these indicators will help. And for the average person that's just trying to maybe get into trading, I think starting out with simple things like this is a good idea. But it is good to understand how they work and understand that, you know, across alone isn't always the entry. It isn't always the confirmation. Doge chart flashing a sell signal. Now that I do not like. Come on, Doge. Hold up now, Dogecoin. Hold up now, Dogecoin. Now we're above the LSMA here. That is usually a good sign. MACD crossing, even if it is above the bars, above the LSMA, but previous resistance $69,754. I still go for this. This is the go-to though. This right here, perfect setup on almost any time frame. But the LSMA really does give you a little idea when the price will push, even if it's a short push. See how we crossed above the LSMA, back tested it, held it, and then we push. And even if it's a short push, you know, that sometimes still is a good indicator. Cross below the LSMA, get rejected by it, you go down. It's just been a go-to for me for a long, long time. And here we go. But if you look at the RSI, we got to pay attention to the RSI. You know what? We need the stochastic RSI, yes. LSMA. LSMA. And RSI did cross here, so that was another indication. Again, same thing, look. I mean, all we have to do is just, you know, clone this. Drag it over. Another cross. Clone this one. Another potential scalp, but again, resistance line playing out. Double top action potentially here. So careful. RSI is overbought on the 1 minute. So careful. Double top potentially, but still could have caught the scalp from here to here. And that is a good, you know, $69,400 to $69,750. But we could break through this, right? Invalidate it. Invalidate a little M right here. But how far will we go? 1 minute RSI sometimes can let us down. So let's look at RSI 5 minute. Just got an extra cross at the top there. Still pushing into overbought territory. Overbought territory on the 15. But the MACD on the 15 well below the bars. Gives us indication. RSI overbought. Pushing into overbought in almost all time frames though, right? Now, we just broke out of my falling wedge, though. Let's not forget, we broke out of the falling wedge, and then we back tested it and held it, and now we're pumping. So, again, resistance at 70,500, resistance at 70,000, and then the measured move is 70,900, 70,800. But we did break out of that, and we back tested it, and now we're testing 69,900, right at 69,900, 70,000. What is going on, Maxed Blink? Thanks for joining us today. Just flipped green for a mini bounce. Are you trading this? Silver crashed 14% today. You know, with everything going on in the Middle East, it is, you know, gold, silver, certain precious metals, rare earth minerals right now, certain investments right now in the next 5 to 10 years are going to be so lucrative. But having the patience, you know, and the discipline and the knowledge and the capital to be able to, you know, even execute a plan that you might be able to come up with one of the most foolproof, best investment strategies. But they have a way of making it very hard for the average person, the average individual, the average working class person out there. They make it very, very difficult for the average person to be able to execute any type of good investment strategy, right? Other than the typical work-related or individual, you know, Roth, you know, IRA investment, retirement plan. Other than the traditional investment vehicles and the traditional retirement funds, they make it very difficult for the average person to venture off and do something on their own. But I would say that you would think that right now people are hurting, people are struggling, people are having to pay more for gas, people are having to pay more for just everyday living cost. Everything is going up. And right now, isn't it odd? It's not odd, actually. It's very, very predictable that the state of the economy and the state of the market does change in favor of those that are able to buy in some of the worst times. And so the ones that aren't able to buy in the worst times are those that are getting flushed out and having to spend more on everything, having to spend more on their gas, more on their food, more on their goods and services and cost of living. Those people are the ones that need to be buying, and they're not able to buy. They're having to sell. And you know, we might say, well, you don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Well, most people didn't plan on a war with Iran. Most people don't plan on something like COVID. Most people don't plan on something like any of this. But the ones that know, if you know, you know, then they're able to do this, manipulate the markets, force those people to have to, you know, liquidate and sell out of their positions and their holdings to be able to live. And that is all part of the plan. The poor get poorer and the rich get richer. Exactly, Deadwood. See, if you know, you know. And it's always been this way, and it always will be this way, except for, you know, I have seen that Bitcoin and crypto has the ability, if you educate yourself enough first, has the ability to change that. But definitely the knowledge in it is key. You know, we can't be jumping into it with lack of knowledge and think that we're going to just be successful right off the bat, because that is not true in any case. You know, you have to continue to learn. I am still learning. Been in the space for a long time and still learning every day. grateful for the learning opportunity as well. Bro. remember, the key thing here is the MACD, the RSI, and the LSMA all aligning together, right? That's the key thing here to remember. And I'm giving, this is free alpha, you know, free alpha. But that's the key here, is the MACD, the RSI, and the LSMA all aligning together. And if they don't all align together, then it's not as in my opinion, not as it's just more risky if they don't all align. Like right here, this was more of a risky one, but it still played out. The LSMA crossed. The LSMA crossed. The RSI crossed. And then also the MACD crossed. And that also led to another move. So, but again, like right here where we're at now, see how we're starting to, remember, over trading, right? Over trading wrecks the bag, right? So, like if you were able to, say for example, you were able to catch these two scalps right here, this one and this one, you know, you're better off, even if this RSI crosses right here, in my opinion, we have to think about what's happening on the longer term time frame. And right now we are sitting at a critical level right below 69,800. But if we go to the 5-minute time frame, we look at, you know, the RSI and the MACD on the 5-minute time frame, it doesn't look so hot, right? But we go to the 15-minute time frame, we are actually testing previous support here. And if that support were to hold, I say it's a possibility that Bitcoin reclaims 70K and Bitcoin could potentially see 70,500 here. Previous support between 70,650 and 70,500. But again, going back to the 1 minute, all right, another one here. But remember, if we look, this is actually a good sign. So if we look at the RSI and where it crosses, it's usually right before the LSMA crosses. And then the LSMA and the MACD usually cross pretty much together. When the price action crosses the LSMA, that's usually when the MACD crosses. But what we have here is we are below the RSI crossed, but we are below the LSMA still. And currently coming down to test previous resistance right here. Right there. If we get above the LSMA and the MACD crosses, it could indicate another little short run like this one. what happens next will be important to pay attention to as well. It is getting serious. Bitcoin closing in on 70,000. It is getting tight. It is getting serious. We now have this uptrend. Bitcoin needs to reclaim 70K. If we cannot reclaim 70K, 65K is more and more likely. But what we're looking at on the 1 minute is these perfect scalp potential entries. And if you're scalping Bitcoin on the 1 minute, if you're scalp trading, these indicators are the indicators to go for. I mean, there's other ones that are useful, but these especially. So the breakout of the falling wedge, is that intact? Is that intact? Look. Is the breakout of the falling wedge intact here as we are looking at Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame, holding support here? Holding support here. Are we heading to my measured move target? Could Bitcoin be heading to 70,500 right here? Will we get rejected and fall back down? Our case says reject. Reject, reject. Sharded with my bottom? What? You think it's gonna be? It's gonna be a good night? We'll have to see, bro. We'll have to see. You know, those were the days, man. I mean, I was doing it all, doing way too much, man. Way ahead of my time as a crypto content creator, bro. Doing way too much, man. I was like the Temu version of Alex Becker in 2021 of what Alex Becker has become today. I was the Temu version of Alex Becker in 2021 of what Alex Becker has become today. That is it. Maybe even worse. I don't know. It might have been worse. That's why those streams are all gone. And you know, little did I know that probably didn't even matter. I could have left all them streams up, probably. All them wild, crazy streams. I could have left them all up. Could you imagine all these new people in crypto coming and finding all them old streams from 2021? Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, well. It's okay. We're gonna just have to replace them with better quality, newer, better quality streams. And you know what? The fact that we're still even, you know, the interest in crypto is way down. Interest in Bitcoin, interest in cryptocurrency is way down. People are not very interested right now because they don't like it when their bags are getting hurt. But when that interest flips, you know, when the interest in crypto flips, interest in Bitcoin flips, and especially when the interest in altcoins flips, if that ever happens, you know, we're going to see a massive, massive rally, a massive run, a massive market, bull market. And I do believe building now on the channel is going to be so important for when that time comes, because I think building now is going to lead us into the algorithm for when it'll push us more in the algorithm for when the interest does return at full speed into crypto, right? Like it did when all of this new adoption first started taking place. Now it's just the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, the FUD is just really putting a damper on things. And that's okay. That is okay. It is the time to build and grow. Green fingers, it does not matter how long we build. It does not matter how long it takes you to start. It does not matter how long it takes you to finish. What truly matters is all of the in-between. I know. I've had my phases. I've had my own personal things and issues, you know. I'm human. I am a human. I am not an AI. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I do. Dogecoin lost moving average support. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. You're trying to get me nervous over here. All right, guys. Green fingers, as am I. As am I. I just have to and had to find what works for me, you know? I when I started my channel, you know, I mean, I was working my channel like I was working my YouTube channel like a 9 to 5 while also still working my 9 to 5 and doing other things on the side, and you know, I was really doing too much. I did too much, man. That's why I fell off like I did. I talked about that a lot, man. I pushed myself too hard in the beginning. And if you listen to any successful person, like any mentors or anything, that's one thing that you can't do. You have to avoid burnout. I mean, and I've not been very good at that. I've not been very good at balancing some of those things and avoiding burnout, and that led to a lot of crashing and burning. That led to a lot of crashing out. So but that's all a work in progress and building and something I'm building still within myself, as you can see. Because I'm still here and I'm not going anywhere. So, but I am going somewhere right now because I've been live for 3 hours. We've been live for 3 hours. And you know, being live for 3 hours is cool. I enjoyed it. I think it's been a healthy stream. This is what I like to see, and this is what the YouTube algorithm likes to see, right? It's a healthy, it's healthy fluctuation and flow. There was only like one period of like where we just stayed at the, you know, at a flat line, and so it's just I am happy with it, even though you know, 3 hours for 89 views, you know, that's crazy, but the views don't matter. The views really do not matter as much as this matters. This is what matters. And the engagement from you guys, which I appreciate very much as well. So, you know, it's been a good one. And I think we actually covered a lot of really good things on the stream. So looking forward to the next one. See y'all in the next one.